Okay, pass by result is fairly cool. Here's the idea. Again, bunch of words. Let's break it down and kind of walk through a little bit. So by result parameter passing. The formal parameter, again, that's the parameter inside the function. It's like a local variable in the activation record of the called method. I mean, that's straightforward, right? It's uninitialized. And then after the called method finishes executing, okay, so the method itself, then the last value of that formal parameter gets assigned back out to the actual parameter. Isn't that funky? And then sometimes they call it copy out, and it was part of Algol 68. It was part of Pascal. And but the idea is basically I'm just kind of saying, I'm going to send you a value, and when you're done, I'd like you to change this value, which is kind of funky. Now, the other thing that's kind of interesting, and it's this second point right here, the actual parameter must have an L value. So the L value is something that can live on the left side of an assignment statement. That's what an L value is. So, let's go actually to the code example, because what we're going to see is this by result up here. But the L value simply says that I can't pass in the number 3, and then when you get to the end, I want you to back up and change my literal value 3. It doesn't make any sense. But if I can pass you X, as I got a local variable, I'm going to pass X, and then when you pop back out, X is going to get changed to the last thing that it was inside that function. So let's look at this as kind of an example. So here comes F, all right? And this is, on the right, the activation record for F. I got 3 local variables, X, Y, and Z. There they are. X gets 3, Y gets 4, Z is unassigned. Yeah, it's not bound to anything. I don't know what it is. And then I make a call to plus, and I pass into plus X, Y, and Z, okay? Let's look at plus. Plus has A as an integer, B as an integer, and then this sort of like syntactically made up by result. We're just saying it's by result, rather than kind of bog you down in Algol syntax or whatever. Just understand that C is a by result, is a pass by result parameter. And what that means is that I'm going to run this function right here. I'm going to take A, I'm going to add it to B, and I'm going to put that value in C. Well, here's C. It's part of the local activation record, right? A, B, and there's C. Here they are, A, B, and C. In the activation record of the plus function, C again is not assigned, right? It doesn't start with something. Then what happens is, let's watch the next step. What happens is that it runs. It takes A, which is 3, B, which is 4, adds them, gets 7, puts that in C. So now that activation record with C here has value, but look out here, still unchanged. But this is a by result. So as this function is finishing, because the language supports by result, then just before we return, we have to go out to Z and change it. So it's, in essence, it's like there's like this cosmic connection. It's like a quantum resonance between C and Z. Whatever I ultimately do to C is going to happen to Z. That's what pass by result means. Okay? Now, so even though this is going to be a really, really short podcast, I want to stop here so that this is simply about by result, and then we can continue doing the other 5 methods of parameter passing.